No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Right now, choose any new 20 Mazda and get 0% for 60 months, plus 90 days deferred payments during the Team Mazda upgrade event happening now at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
The Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Leave it to the exiles that we come in, getting ready to start the show, call up our buddy with Baton Rouge EMS, Mike Chustz, and the phone is going crazy. I'm going to blame it on the white people. Blame it on the exiles. Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. He just gave me a big thumbs up as he's walking out of the room. I think that we may have Mike Chustz on the line. Yeah. All right. I was flipping. I'm flipping through the channels the other night, and I run across a replay of Night Watch. And I knew that Baton Rouge EMS had been included in this a while back, but had never had the opportunity to catch the episode. So when I saw that's what it was, I said, oh man, I gotta watch this. Talk about represented the capital region in fine fashion. So yesterday, I reached out to Mike Chustz, and Mike is the public service coordinator for East Baton Rouge's EMS, to talk about this, and I think we have him on the phone now. Mike, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Clarence. Thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome, my friend. You had to be awfully, awfully proud of how the EBR paramedics represented the capital city in those episodes, Mike.
Oh, absolutely, we were. We had a lot of fun with the show. The people that came down from all over the country to produce it and ride along in the units and film it were great. They got along great with our crew members, and nothing was staged. Everything happened just naturally as it happened. They interviewed and selected the paramedics they wanted to ride with, and we approved the ones they picked, and they got out and did it. And as the calls came in, they responded. Nothing was changed as far as the service we provide.
Right.
But it all went great, and our medics did an awesome job.
You know, I've always thought, Mike, that police had the toughest job there is. I mean, they deal with criminal behavior, domestic violence, all sorts of uncertain situations. But your guys and girls deal with all of that, all while at the same time having to make a medical diagnosis and render aid in the most humanitarian way possible. That truly takes a special breed of person, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely it does. I would say that all of the first responder jobs become challenging at times, but I do think overall the paramedic job, the EMS first responder job is the paramedic EMT job, I should say, is probably the most difficult one when you got to deal with all the things. And there's a lot of physical requirements as well as all the mental requirements you deal with. And we respond to all the same calls those other guys go to. And just the good thing is our care and treatment continues throughout the transport to the hospital. So we spend more time with these people, and as you said, have to deal with whatever situation arises. It can be challenging. I think it's a calling. I think it's not a job for everybody, but I think most people that do it really love it.
So who is it that makes an ideal candidate to become a paramedic or an EMT?
I think that people like excitement. They like adrenaline. They also like to have different things to do at work every day. I mean, every day they come to work and they somewhat do the same thing, but the EMS calls will respond to a different every day. Every call is different that you go on. And, it's never boring, Clarence. It's always something going on. Even when you're not on the call, you're completing your paperwork. You might be doing maintenance on the ambulance or inventorying your medical supplies for expiration dates, make sure you have enough medication, checking out your cardiac monitors. There's always something going on, and we're close to fully staffed, which is almost unheard of in the EMS industry currently. So our department has been doing really, really well. We're just so excited how things are going, and we just have a great group of people that work here. And I'm telling you, I don't know if we could handpick a better group than we have. We've been very fortunate.
We always hear when we talk about law enforcement, we hear the quote, law enforcement family. I've got to imagine that same bond, that same brotherhood exists with the folks at EMS?
Oh, yes, sir. There's absolutely no doubt it does. And, we look after each other and take care of each other. And when someone is ill or sick, and we raise money within our department and help them out and do whatever we need to do to help our coworkers out. It's not always easy when problems arise, but we do what we can to help each other out 100%.
For us lay people, is there a distinct difference between an EMT and a paramedic? Help us lay people out, because we throw those terms around all the time. And listening to you talk, it occurred to me, I don't know the difference, if there is one, between a paramedic and an EMT.
Yes, sir. There is a huge difference, actually. EMT, which stands for Emergency Medical Technician,
Right.
are people who get about 130 to 150 hours of training.
Okay.
And they are trained in to control bleeding, spinal immobilization, immobilized fractures, airway care, and taking care of wounds like lacerations and abrasions and things like that. Once you become to the paramedic level, then you are trained with all of that stuff, and in addition, you learn how to do IVs, you learn how to do intubation, which saves lives every day out in the field and in the hospitals. We run the cardiac monitors. We can diagnose heart attacks in people's living rooms now. We can transmit the 12-lead EKGs that we see. We can transmit those to the hospital from the emergency room. From the ambulance or from a residence or from anywhere, actually. And they do so much more diagnostic stuff, and then just a whole lot more treatment. And some of the things we're doing now on the ambulance was unheard of to me and unexpected just 7 or 8 years ago.
Right.
I've been in this field a long time, almost 30 years, and there's been so many positive changes that have come along. And to become a paramedic nowadays is tough. You got to go through a lot of schooling and learn a lot of things, and be quick, be able to think on your feet. And we see a lot of sad things, and you got to be able to get through that on the scene and deal with the emotion part of it after the call is complete. And that's difficult to do, but that's what we do.
That's a great segue into my next question, Mike. With COVID-19 and everything these days, a lot of people are considering a potential change in occupation. Exactly what does the process entail for individuals that may be considering serving their fellow Baton Rougeans or whatever city, because we air all across South Louisiana? Typically, what does the process entail?
Well, fortunately for us, when COVID started, paramedics and EMTs, most first responders, already know how to protect themselves from blood and from germs and airborne transmissions of viruses. Because, we dealt with TB over the years. We deal with people with the flu all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an experience we had to learn. Nobody really knew exactly what we did the best we could do. And we all our medics now carry respirators such as what people use in a paint booth. And they work really, really good. So we've been fortunate. We haven't had a lot of exposures and a lot of positive tests, and that has saved us really. But with the COVID situation, I think paramedics and EMTs who work out in the field were kind of adapted to protecting themselves. We protect because we don't know what a person has when we respond to their house or to an accident scene.
Right.
So we have to prepare every time like there is some danger that exists, and that's what we try to do. And you just cannot let your guard down. You have to prepare on every call. Fortunately, they had developed a very good screening process on the 911 calls that was able to get a lot of information that we wouldn't normally have obtained. And they were able to relay that to the responding paramedics so they would know there was a good possibility that the person may be infected while responding to a call. So you can always take a little extra precaution when you have that knowledge going in. So it's been challenging. I think we have done a good job with it. Our field staff has done with it. I think most medical facilities have. Especially now, we know more about it. We know a little bit, what we can do a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And we're still learning, of course, because it's still relatively new.
Yeah.
But we've had some in-services. Every time we learn something new, is relayed out to all of the paramedics and EMTs.
So
it's just a continuous process.
So if an individual's considering that change in occupation and an EMT or paramedic is on their list, how long a process are we talking about before they will be on the job fully fledged, and what does all that entail?
Well, most classes, there's different types of classes that occur. Baton Rouge, at the Betty Center out there off of Nicholson, south of Baton Rouge. And you can do that in between 4 and 6 months to become an EMT, emergency medical technician.
Right.
And it depends on the schedule of the class. You have a minimum number of hours you have to do. Mm-hmm. And once you get to those hours, you can do it faster and slower. It just depends on how many hours a week you go to school. Mm-hmm. The paramedic program, from start to finish, you have to be an EMT first, then you can enroll in paramedic programs. And that takes about 1.5 to 2 years from start to finish.
Okay.
And but as soon as you come out, you make it over $50,000 a year. We got great benefits here with the city, and everything we do is local. So we only do East Baton Rouge Parish. So it's kind of each call is. I guess our average call takes about 50 to 70 minutes. About a little over an hour to run. By the time we respond and transport to clear the hospital.
Right.
So it's just an exciting. It's a real exciting job, and I hope that we can get more people into it.
Finally, Mike, with all that we're going through right now, sadly, in EBR, there's this uptick in domestic violence. There's this uptick in fatal violence. And, of course, you throw COVID-19 into the mix as well. How are the guys and girls at EBR's EMS service holding up? How are they dealing with all of this that's being thrown at them at one time?
Clarence, I'm sorry, I got something going on with my connection here. I didn't hear you last quote. Can you say it again, please?
Not a problem. With everything going on that the EMTs and paramedics have to face these days, the increase in violence, the deadly violence, the domestic violence, and, of course, COVID-19, psychologically,
Yes,
how are the guys and girls holding up?
there are a lot of stressors in this job, and just it's every shift you see things that are sad or that are unfortunate that it takes a toll on you. And I mean, we have people that think that things don't bother us after a while, and that's just simply not true. We recently had a 2-year-old that was shot and did not survive. Yep. And that's something that's really, really hard to deal with. It's so unnecessary and just senseless. So the medics and the fire department, the cops, the people that go out and deal with that, it bothers you, But it's just something you learn to deal with. You can get through it on the call. Sometimes when you're done, the emotions are set in, and you just have to. Here at EMS, which is critical incident stress management, and anytime someone gets upset or has a really bad situation that they have to deal with, we have people trained that can go to the scene or meet them at the hospital or at home, wherever they end up. Right. And we can go out there and help treat them on the scene and try to get them through the process. But it is difficult. Like I said earlier, I guess this job, but I guess most jobs aren't just for anybody. This job has some stressors, and you got to be able to deal with it. And some people get into it and don't last. They just can't deal with it. But a lot of us do, and fortunately, some of us are able to do it.
Folks that are interested in joining that fine group of folks, how do they find out more, Mike?
Well, they can contact us at Baton Rouge EMS headquarters at 389-5155. Of course, they can go to brla.gov. That's the city parish website. Select departments and click on EMS, Emergency Medical Services, and that'll take them to our actual page, and they can find out more information there. But anybody considering it, they also welcome to come out and do a ride along with us, and just kind of see what goes on, and if they like it. Clarence, I don't.
Wait. Say that again, Mike. Your phone broke up on us.
I actually got into this field sort of by accident. I had a friend that was going to EMT class and asked me to go, and I decided to go, and I loved it from the start, and I've been in it for 30 years. So
wow.
How some of the things unfold,
Right.
But I tell you, we here at Baton Rouge EMS, we have several 20 and 25-year employees, and that's not a very common thing in the EMS field, just because of the the nature of the business. A lot of people get out after a lot of people get out sooner than that. But we just have a really great service here and a great department. We've just been very fortunate.
Fantastic. He is the Public Service Coordinator for Baton Rouge's EMS program. Mike Chustz, always great to talk with you, my friend. And on behalf of a grateful city and a grateful parish, keep up the good work. We love you guys and girls for what you do for us.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
You're quite welcome, my friend. Stay safe out there. All right, we are a little past overdue for our first break, so we will bang this one out, and we'll come back and talk about how a hot mic has a couple of high-profile folks taking some heat. That's next on the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch lunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
You could be driving.
Right now, during the Team Honda Upgrade event, get a new 20 Accord Sport for just $309 a month with no money down, no first payment, and no security deposit. It's time to upgrade to your new Honda at Louisiana's #1 new car dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
By all standards, he is a champion for consumers. Because of Public Service Commissioner Eric Scrametta, our utility rates are 35% less than the national average, the lowest in all of America. He saved ratepayers over $8 billion. Commissioner Scrametta brought us more reliable power plants and energy-efficient solar fields. Public Service Commissioner Eric Scrametta. Keep the commissioner who keeps our rates low.
Marty just got to the point now. I said, "Which camera?" I don't know, bro. Just do like this. Look at all of them. Right? Look at all three of the cameras. You know, for those that have ever been in this line of work, particularly, well, no. Let me change that. I was about to say particularly radio, but most people that are in TV typically start in radio. It's normally a process. Lots of people, I won't say most because the medium has changed so much in recent memory. But regardless, whether it is radio and or television, one of the very first things you learn is to always treat the microphone as if it's hot. Layperson's terms. Always treat the mic as though it's on. Govern yourself accordingly. Don't say anything that even if you thought it was off and it was on, that you would not want to go over the air. And of course, in recent memory, we've seen more and more and more people finding themselves in hot water facing a backlash because they thought the microphone was off when in fact it was on. Enter Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. This week, I'm pretty sure it was the Kansas City Buffalo, Green Bay, Tampa Bay. Thank you, Marty. Our crack research team, Marty and Jonathan out in the truck, our crack research team, just told me that it was the Green Bay and Tampa Bay game. As the flyover is taking place, and y'all know the drill by now. Typically, you know, you have your national anthem, and then the F-18s or the Warthogs or the Blackhawks or whatever comes screaming over the stadium. Well, the two of them apparently thought the mics were not hot. And this exchange happened. Troy Aikman. That's a lot of jet fuel just to do a little flyover. Joe Buck. That's your hard-earned money and your tax dollars at work. Troy Aikman. That stuff ain't happening with the Kamala Biden ticket. I'll tell you that right now, partner. And this guy quarterbacked, quote, America's team. Let me say for the record, I want these pilots flying every single time they get the chance to. I want them to remain as sharp as a razor's edge, because God only knows on any given day when they may be called upon to defend our troops, defend an American city, defend whatever. I want them to get all the flight time that is available to them. Yeah, but Clarence, they got simulators. No, Hoss, that's like trying to compare watching a cooking show to actually getting in the kitchen and doing it. There is a reason why our military is the best on the planet. There is a reason why other countries come here to learn from our pilots and our training. And for them to make these comments, and you played for America's team. Now, what's really going to be interesting in all of this is how they try to, quote, play it off. There is the possibility, and I was thinking about this last night. Number one, it raised a whole lot of eyebrows just because of the content of the exchange. But then Troy Aikman called it the Kamala Biden ticket. Now, you read into that what you will. And of course, he's being savaged on social media, saying not only are you un-American, unpatriotic, you don't even know who's running for president and who's running for vice president. But that's a different story for a different day. In attempting to play this off, quote unquote, there is no good way. You could easily try and run for cover and say, well, what we were really saying is that, you know, they're not going to do this in a Biden-Harris ticket because we all know they're not that big on the military, and we were just making a point that if you vote for them, then you can look for defunding of the military. Well, now you're going to piss off half the population on the liberal side. If you don't, well, you're going to PO the conservative side, the other half of your audience. Who was it just yesterday? Bruce Springsteen, where he mentioned sometimes it's just better to keep your mouth shut. And in the case of these two individuals, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, it's not that you are in a closed auditorium talking with a handful of socially distanced people. You are on a nationwide broadcast. And it's not as though the NFL hasn't already received enough black eyes. Now you turn around and have these two national figures engaged in this conversation. And you know, if you are not a student of people, and you had not on any number of other occasions read between the lines, you would probably find it awfully hard to believe that Troy Aikman would make comments like this. You would probably find it a little, not nearly as much, but somewhat hard to believe that Joe Buck would make comments like this. But if you think back to a few months ago, we talked about the story of the two Democrat congresswomen that were attempting to do away with the Hyde Amendment and the other amendment that allows American taxpayer money to be used for abortion overseas. I made the statement, every now and then, if you just pay attention and listen, you'll find out who people really are and what they're really all about. Just because they thought the mic was not hot, we found out what Joe Buck and Troy Aikman really think. Interesting. Get a feeling you ain't heard the last of this yet. After this break, did you know there's the possibility Donald Trump will end all life on planet Earth? Animal, plant, and human. Oh my God. Well, at least Elizabeth Warren says so. That's next on the Clarence Bug Show. Stay close.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Rouge Jr., and I am a general dentist at Rouge Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Jaguar Nation, we need your help in masking up Louisiana.
Masking up us slow the spread of COVID-19.
During this time, we must continue to wear a mask, wash our hands, and practice social distancing.
It's important that we continue to abide by the CDC's guidelines to stop the spread.
Jaguar Nation, we challenge you to mask up. Go Jags!
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Today's the day to score thousands in savings on a new Toyota during the upgrade event at Team Toyota. Choose the all-new redesigned 2020 Highlander and get $1,750 customer cash. Let today be the day you score thousands in savings at Team Toyota. I-12 at O'Neill.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
welcome back to the Tuesday, I don't know what camera, edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Thank you, Marty. Appreciate you, brother. I love it when a plan comes together. Just yesterday, right about this time of the day, as a matter of fact, I told you, y'all better get ready, because you are going to hear the most outlandish, ridiculous, flat out stupid claims you have heard in your life between now and Election Day. And sure enough, didn't disappoint. This week on the campaign trail on the stump, Massachusetts, surprise, surprise, Senator Elizabeth Warren claimed, quote, Donald Trump, that was him, just went by, Donald Trump threatens the existence of human life, of all life on this planet. And on November 3rd, we will hold him accountable. We are reaching a moment on our planet in which the crisis that is upon us may no longer be one we will be able to successfully fight back against. The science, quote unquote, around this is not controversial. The science is clear. In fact, you know what scares me to death? Every time we get more data and reanalyze the data, what we discover is the problem is even worse than we thought. We have even less time than we thought. So Donald Trump is going to end all plant, animal, human, bacteriological life on the planet. Obviously, Elizabeth Warren didn't read what the co-founder of the Weather Channel, y'all have heard of the Weather Channel, right? The go-to source for all things weather. Every time there's a hurricane or wildfires or tornadoes or floods, everybody runs to the Weather Channel. Well, the co-founder of the Weather Channel, John Coleman, 6 years ago, published a piece calling climate change / global warming the greatest scam in history. But according to Elizabeth Warren, the science is clear. It's been settled. It's beyond reproach. John Coleman's piece was published right after the Obama White House came out with their official stance on climate disruption. Okay, that was the latest term after global warming. Well, first it was global cooling, then it was global warming, then it was climate change, now it's climate disruption. This was published back in 2014. John Coleman, in his piece, said, quote, the sky is falling, climate change is running wild, and disaster is certain unless we immediately stop burning coal and oil and move quickly to green energy to eliminate the use of fossil fuels. Heat waves, huge floods, powerful storms, all of this. We're on the verge of killing millions of us and destroying our civilization. That's my summary of the new federal assessment of climate change issued by an Obama administration team of more than 300 specialists, guided by a 60-member federal advisory committee that produced the report. I am deeply disturbed to have to suffer through this total distortion of the data and agenda-driven, destructive episode of bad science gone berserk. Allow me to hold your attention for just a few minutes to explain why I don't buy into this climate change alarmism. The climate of Earth has never been normal or stable. It has continuously changed through this planet's 4.5 billion year history. Powerful storms, floods, droughts, heat waves, and ice and snowstorms have come and gone as long as Earth has existed. He continues his quote, "The current bad science is all based on a theory that the increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere from the exhaust of burning of fossil fuels leads to a dramatic increase in the greenhouse effect, causing temperatures to skyrocket uncontrollably. This theory has failed to verify and is obviously dead wrong. But the politically funded and agenda-driven scientists who have built their careers on this theory and also live well on the $2.6 billion a year of federal grants for global warming / climate change research cling to this theory and bend the data to support the glorified claims in their reports and papers. When the temperature data could no longer be bent to support global warming, they switched to climate change and now blame every weather and climate event on CO2, despite the hard, cold fact that the radiative forcing theory they built their claims on has totally failed to verify. Al Gore is perhaps one of the careerists alluded to in this conversation. The former VP made a fortune flying around the world in a private jet while talking about the environment. That is, before he sold his TV station to Big Oil for $500 million. Now, I don't know about you, but if on one hand I have a Democrat senator from arguably the most liberal place on the planet, Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren, poor candidate for president. Got her on one hand telling me this. On the other hand, I've got a certified, verified meteorologist, co-founder of the Weather Channel, All Things Weather, saying the exact opposite. I don't know about y'all, but I know who I'm going to believe. And in case there's any doubt, it ain't Elizabeth Warren. Sorry, English teachers, I didn't give y'all the heads up on that one. If I got her on one hand, John Coleman, meteorologist, on the other hand, who am I going to believe? But according to her, Donald Trump is going to kill all life on the whole planet. Animal, plant, human, bacteria. The sad part, not only is she comfortable saying it, but there's some idiots out there who are going to buy it. That's the scary part. Well, aside from the fact that you hadn't heard it all just yet. The closer we get to Election Day, the more crap they're going to try to shovel into your brain. Just so you know. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bud Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Bug Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Bug Show. The only thing missing is you.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the final segment of our Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you're one of those people out there that gets all of your information and forms your decisions from the mainstream media, here's a story they probably didn't tell you about. The rapper 50 Cent. Does he do movies too, Marty? I know we talked about Ice Cube yesterday, and I've seen him in any number of movies. But 50 Cent, I'm pretty sure I've seen him in a movie. He's an actor too, yeah, okay. See, the white guy knows that. See? We're not systemically racist after all. See? Told y'all. 50 Cent, the joke is now, 50 Cent does not want to be 20 Cent. Well, Clarence, what you talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked. This week, 50 Cent took a look at Joe Biden's tax plan on how he is going to accomplish all these grand things that he's been telling y'all he's going to do. Lo and behold, for 50 Cent, combined state and federal taxes, he would give up 60% of his income. When he figured this out, 50 immediately took to social media saying, F Biden, y'all need to vote Trump. 50 Cent does not want to be 20 Cent. What makes these people think they are entitled to 60% of anybody's income? But this is how these people think. As hard as you work for your money, what makes them think they're entitled to just walk in and snatch any percent, for that matter? Now, let's say for the record, none of us mind supporting critically needed infrastructure. None of us have a problem making sure that the military has the things they need to defend our country, our rights, and our freedoms. None of us have a problem with that. But to come in and arbitrarily, because you have worked your butt off, you got up earlier than everybody else, stayed later than everybody else, made sacrifices nobody else was willing to make. Because of this, we get to walk in and take 60% of your money. If that doesn't scare the bejesus out of you, I don't know what will. Yeah, but Clarence, they're only talking about doing it to the people that make over $400,000. Guess what, Hoss? You next. What did Eddie Murphy tell Martin Lawrence at the end of the movie Life when they're talking about dying? Guess what? We on deck. You next. It's never enough money for these people. Understand something, y'all. The federal government has no money. They don't produce a product or service that they can put on a shelf and sell and make money. The only money they have is the money they take from you. That's the only money they have. And it is never, ever enough. Sure, Joe tells you, well, we're only going to take 60% from the people that make over $400,000. Well, the next year, well, see what had happened was we didn't realize inflation and we were going to have this needed program, so we're going to have to drop that down to 300,000. And the year after that, it's going to drop to 200,000. The year after that, it's down to 100,000. And you bozos put him back in office, then he coming after you, Hoss. Make book on it. Make book on it. You've heard me say, and I coined this phrase, and I stick to it with no hesitation or reservation every single time I say it. Freedoms and liberties encroached upon by government are seldom, if ever, returned intact. Give it up to these folks, you'll never get it back. Freedoms and liberties encroached upon by government are seldom, if ever, returned intact. We've been fortunate. We've got a president that gave us our money back. But no, he's a racist. All them black folk that benefited from the middle class tax cut. But he's a racist. All this money that HBCUs now have guaranteed every year, oh, and by the way, with a 25% increase in the budget, but he's a racist. You see how they play you? You see how they play you? Finally, Thursday, final debate between the two men that are aspiring to be the leaders of the free world. I can tell you already it's going to be a farce. It is a farce. Well, Clarence, you ain't seen it yet. How you know that? Well, because the Commission on Presidential Debates has already changed the questions, and they have removed from the list of questions foreign policy. Well, isn't that what they would have been talking about with Hunter Biden's alleged laptop? Ding, 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 got a winner. They have changed the questions and removed foreign policy from the discussion. Now, we're talking about two men aspiring to be the leader of the free freaking world. How in God's name are the American people not entitled to know what they think about this? That is arguably one of the most important things. We want to know what your plans are and how you view foreign policy. Of course, now they have also given NBC reporter Kristen Walker, the moderator, a kill switch so they can cut the mics off. So if the president decides, well, since you asked me about this, what about this, they can cut that off. Now, I'm sorry, Mr. President, it's going to be a farce. It's going to be a farce. I'm going to tell you that right up front. And you know how you know? Did you also know? Mainstream media probably didn't tell you this either. Two former top executives, one from Facebook, one from Twitter, left those organizations recently and are now members of the Biden transition team. Wonder where Twitter and Facebook got the idea to suppress the Hunter Biden story. As my dear friend Marty would say, no, there's nothing to see here. No, that's coincidence. See what happened? What had really happened was we might have been born at night, but it was not last night. If the American people don't stand up and demand better, you know what's going to happen? We're going to end up with the government that we deserve. And that should scare the bejesus out of all of us. Some of y'all ain't going to get that till later. Hopefully you'll get it. Time's up, and I got to go. This day, as we get closer to Election Day, more than ever, you hear me say, you know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But doggone it, for my money, it's the best there is. And God knows there is no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, it don't matter, because there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves. Let's take care of each other. See you tomorrow. God bless.